What's going on, my friends? This is your boy Dave Sharpe. Hope you guys are well today. Uh, we've got an exciting show, man. It's about to pop off. You know, it's going down. We got some good energy this morning on the show. I'm excited for you guys to meet our guests. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead. Let's kick this bad boy off. Nathan Bokkers, what's going on, my brother?
How's it going, Dave? How's it going? Thank you for having me on the show, man. This has been my number one goal since I started this, so thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome.
Another goal checked off, right?
Checking boxes, my brother. Checking boxes, my man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So any of you that do know, I just want to say, hey, yeah, I got no teeth. I'm in the middle of getting dentures, so if you hear a list, that's why.
Bro, I love it, man. So you've been doing this whole marketing thing with no teeth.
I actually got my very first two commissions the day I got my teeth ripped out. So yes, I've done this whole journey pretty much with no teeth, and I haven't let it hold me back. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I just think that's another really, it's just a great kind of testimonial to what's possible when you get this right, you know, because this is really, it ain't these that stop you. No. It's this right here, right?
Exactly. It's mindset, buddy. It's mindset. And yeah. I've learned that. I've learned mindset is everything. Like, your story is what brought me in. Me and you have a lot of the same story, right? We have the same background. I was an addict too for years. So I was actually living on the streets of Vancouver in back alleyways. I was that bad of an addict, right? 10 years ago. So, hey, if I can come up and be like this and get up and become a successful person online, I never thought this was possible. I'm a truck driver. I haul logs all day long, right? So, if anybody can do this, it just shows that you don't need a lot of time to do this. Right,
man. If I was you, I would have so much fun with headlines and marketing stories, man. I mean, like, the headline would say toothless truck driver, you know, makes his first commission and grows his business from there. You know, learn how, like, that kind of a feeling, man. I mean, I would play that up and tell that story over and over and over, even when you get teeth, man. That'll be your most valuable story, man.
Oh, yeah, that I started this with no teeth, literally. Yeah, no, I'm a truck driver full-time, right? Like, I don't have a lot of time to market, but I use that to my advantage. I took my trucking, and my first videos of marketing was my truck driving. I was showing videos of me truck driving and said, hey, are you making double incomes too? Well, why aren't you, right? I'm doing it, so why can't you, right? So,
yeah. I mean, a lot of you guys know that, and this is a big part of what has helped me to have the success that I've had, and it's a big part of what continues to help me have the success that I have. Look, I want to take you guys kind of behind the scenes with something here, real quick. Let me share my screen. So I've got this file, or excuse me, this Dropbox folder in my Dropbox account. That's just Dave Biz Photos, and I'm pretty well organized in terms of my Google Drive and my Dropbox. I try to keep things to where I can find them fairly easily. But this is exactly where I store and hold the pretty much the marketing gold that tells my story, the visuals that help me to tell my story. You know, I've got me as a young teenage father here. I've got me as a construction worker. And by the way, Nate, when I started, man, we didn't have, there wasn't a lot of photos. So even the fact that I got this photo, this is the only one of, if not the only photos. I think I've got a couple of physical hard copy photos of me doing construction, but this is the only one. So, you know, nowadays we have these phones that can take these digital cameras, and I mean, I'm just blessed that I got some snaps from back in the day. Like this one right here, I use a lot. Like this is the early days of me working on the computer. This is the computer that I bought on my wife's credit card for $500 and paid it off $50 at a time and got the nicotine patch there. So I say all this just to say that, you know, brother, you've got this obviously a great attitude, and I want to hear and learn more about you and your journey. But I want to tell you, and I want to particularly remind everybody who's on the show, that these times at the beginning, these struggles, these moments, make sure to document it, not just because you can use it in your marketing now, but because you're going to be able to use it in your marketing for years to come. What's coming up for you, brother?
That totally blows my mind. I'm actually that's a great thing. I'm gonna start making a portfolio for in that and start documenting my journey, because this is just a start, right? This is just the start, right? I'm ready to take off. I'm ready to blow this business up, right? So this industry is booming. Like, it has so much potential. It's like so much potential. Like, I wasted probably about 3 weeks of my time researching about affiliate marketing before I jumped on board.
Which is nothing. Which is nothing, though. Yeah. Which is nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like a lot because you're super hungry right now. But I mean, 3 weeks, the fact that you got started in 3 weeks, brother, I know that you will be successful, because 3 weeks to you feels like a year. But there's people, man, who 3 weeks, they waste 3 weeks, you know, over and over and over and over again. And before you know it, 3 years has gone by and they're going, I still haven't gotten started. I'm still shopping around or skeptical of whether this is a scam. So continue your story about the 3 weeks and how you feel like that was wasted time, and how much of an opportunity you feel you got at your hands right now.
Well, that's just it. Like, that's 3. I personally looked at that as like same as like some of the top affiliates I know. That 3 weeks I wasted is now, that's 3 weeks of income I lost already, because I put that, I wasted that 3 weeks. But I'm glad I did the research, because if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't have joined. But your story is what got me, and was what literally took me in, was your story. Because I found recently with my success is building those relationships with your clients, building those relationships with people is the biggest asset you have right now. Even as you just starting out as a beginner, I find building those relationships is the biggest thing that's helped me along the way in the last few weeks, that have gone from me going, just making those boo to going, right? It's those relationships.
So what do you mean by that? What do you mean by those relationships? Do you mean reaching out and connecting with potential clients and people in your audience? Do you mean explain what you mean by that?
Actually talking to them, not saying, hey, go to my link. Hey, go check this out. Hey, go grab my ebook. I actually build that relationship with people. Hey, how's your day going? How's your week going? I'm talking to somebody recently right now who's got COVID. And I've been talking to him for almost a week, but he still wants to get involved. I said, buddy, take care of yourself first before you even want to get in on this, right? Like, I'm here to help you, but you got COVID. Take care of yourself first, right? Right. I guarantee you he's going to trust me, right? That guy, I'm building a relationship with that guy. And I've done it multiple times with multiple people, and I still help him out. I help out anybody, really. If they need help with me, I ask anybody there's probably plenty of people in the chat that I've helped already. And I don't know, it's one of the greatest feelings, because I actually had 6 months ago, I was a negative person, right? Not a negative person. I was just not in the right mindset. Didn't know what I was doing with my life, because I was driving truck, but I still wasn't getting ahead in life, right? I was driving truck. You know, if you know anything, truck drivers make really good money. I make pretty good money, but I'm still living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
I'm not living above my means. I don't have a bunch of toys. It's just the world today is difficult.
Yeah.
And you got to have that extra passive income in order to get ahead nowadays. And I've realized that, right?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, man.
Sorry, I'm all over the place, but I'm ADHD, so.
Well, no, that's a gift and a curse, brother. I mean, it's a real gift, because it makes you creative. and it does the same thing for me. I'm AD, I guess ADHD is hyper. I'm a little hyper too. I'm a little manic. So what I want to point something out that I see, and you tell me if this fits, is that I'm hearing a guy who's been through a lot of challenges. I mean, living on the streets in back alleys in Vancouver, battling addiction, and even now living with some of the consequences of addiction. I mean, I would assume that the tooth loss is from addiction. I actually had Hep C. That was something that I got because of my addiction. I was lucky to go on medication, and now I've got a 0 viral load. I'm essentially cured of Hep C because of some of the medications that they have out now. But that was a consequence of my addiction. But what I realized is that when we're going through these challenges, we actually develop a certain set of survival skills, a certain set of survival mechanisms. And once we get clean, get our head on straight and say, okay, hey, I want to start a business, or, I want to pursue something. I want to go back to school or whatever it is. But let's talk about entrepreneurship. What I see is I see people like me and like you and like other folks who are successful using those survival skills that they used at one time to hustle, to stay alive, to stay safe, whatever it is, right? I mean, maybe you were in a relationship that was toxic or abusive and you survived it. Maybe you raised a bunch of kids and you survived that. Maybe you had a rough childhood, you survived that. We figure out how to take those survival skills and then use them not just to stay safe or stay alive, but once we let that chaos we remove a lot of that chaos, now we still have these skills, but know where to apply them. And then when we start a business, we take those skills that we developed and we actually realize that we have an edge. All of you, if you've survived through any of those type of challenges that I just listed, you actually have an edge because you have these natural instincts to figure things out, to hustle, to not quit. I see that in you. Does that fit?
Yeah, I have a tattoo that says hustler on my ankle. So, right. So I've had that for years, right? Like it's definitely been a challenging life I've had, but I'm not letting that, I haven't let my past predict my future, right? I'm not letting my past predict my future, because literally 6 months ago, I was on EI waiting to go back to work and blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm actually starting a successful business online that I never thought was possible, and it's all thanks to this company. Like literally, I put the effort in, I jumped in, and I took the risk, which is very, very little risk in this, and I went full tilt. If you put the effort, you put the work in, anybody can do this. This industry is booming, and right now is the best time to do it. That's the thing, right? Right now is the time, because with COVID, everything going on in the world right now, all these small businesses, they're just pushing that traffic online for us, right? That's like, I'm using, some people look at this pandemic as a bad thing and stuff, and I'm looking at it as a positive side. Hey, I don't know. I'm not going to use it that way, right? But for marketing and the marketing industry, it's actually a blessing, right? So well, take advantage of situations like that, right?
I think that what you just said is not just a golden nugget. I think that it's a golden boulder. And so I want to bring that back up. I want to re-up on that, for a terminology that you and I may be familiar with. Guys, that's true. Guys, that's true. Okay. That regardless of, forget about the pandemic for a second, because that's hopefully going to be over soon. Right. Hopefully we're going to get back to normal, and it's going to end soon. It's going to end eventually. Right. It's already starting to end. I mean, I had, family over the other day. I mean, we're moving forward. We're making personal choices that make us feel safe, trusting science. Well, I know Canada's different, but here's the point: is that regardless of what the status of the pandemic is in the world, here's the facts is that companies have realized that just going online is a better move and that they're going to have to do it. Like, for example, my uncle works for Walmart and they've already been worried in thinking about how they can go online to be able to compete with Amazon because Amazon stole a whole lot of their market share. So they were already thinking about this. But then what's happened in this last year hits, and it was like the last straw, right? The what do they say? The needle that broke the camel's back, whatever. Like it was the nail in the coffin. And all these companies are pushing traffic online. So everybody who's not already online is going to be online faster now. So like all 7 or 8 billion people in the world, only about half are online right, up until this point. But broadband in America, we have plans to put broadband in everybody. It's almost becoming a human right to have internet access, right? Yep. Whereas before it was more of like a luxury and what was your speed and stuff. Now it's becoming more of a human right to have internet access because you have to, because so many things happen online, government stuff, voter registration, all this different stuff. Like you got to go online to pretty much get the information. So it's becoming a human right. So I think you're in a sense, essentially acting as a visionary for everybody today to really hammer home the fact that guys wake up, because there's a lot of companies a lot of companies are doing the work for us, bringing people online, right?
And like I said, even here in Canada, we all not Alberta itself, but a bunch of the provinces here in Canada, we all just went back into a 3-week lockdown here on Sunday, right? Yeah. We all just locked back down on Sunday, right? So I'm making TikTok videos. Hey, did you just get locked down? Did you just lose your job, right? Here's something for you. Start a business.
You got to be careful with these terms because these platforms are cracking down on saying the actual words. Did you notice that I didn't say what anything is called, or that because they have algorithms that will pick up and translate that you're using the words and potentially think that your profile is spreading misinformation about what's going on. So I'm just giving everybody a little warning. Don't come into our group and say, "Oh, this got shut down," or that got. Well, if you were talking about what's going on right now and using certain terminologies, your account's going to get shut down. So, and I'm not saying that particularly to you, Nathan, but I'm saying that to everybody.
I don't actually use the term. I'm not using the actual term COVID or pandemic. I'm just saying, hey,
he just uses it right on the show. Well, no, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, no, it's just it's just what I'm trying to say is use it to your advantage, right?
Yes, I get it. No, it's
use
totally
it to a different. It's hard for me to explain it because I'm using it to my advantage right now because I know people people want to make extra money online right now, and this is the opportunity get the for point. It, right? I'm trying to push these people hey, wake the hell up, wake up,
right.
You can do this.
Everybody understands what's going on. I mean, we got the point. I'm just trying to give the additional tip to everybody to just don't use those words because the algorithms will pick it up. You'll start getting warnings on your videos, little warnings below that, this person may be spreading misinformation or something like that about what's going on. So here's the thing. Okay, dude, check this out, Nathan. Before, when you were driving trucks and probably on the streets of Vancouver, right? Or wherever you were at in the back alleys, bro, 10 years ago, this whole message that we use now still applied. Hey, are you looking to have more time and financial freedom? Are you looking to make more money? Are you looking to be your own boss? That's been a timeless, universal message. It just happens to be even more timely now and applies to even a bigger audience because of what's going on in the world. So, that's the kind of important thing to know is that people already want this, dude. People already want particularly if you're in the business opportunity
Yeah,
space, not everybody is. Not everybody is. Some people are doing health stuff. Some people are doing dog training. Some people are doing other things. But
I'm actually into the green industry myself. So
when you say green, knowing your history, you're gonna have to give me some
I'm
context.
Canadian, right? Yeah.
Okay.
The green
Are you
industry.
talking about the old Mary Jane, the old wacky
Mary J. She is one. Yes, she is a huge industry here in Canada, and I'm using it to my advantage, right?
Mary Jane, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that a song?
It's federally legal here across Canada, right? It's
is it? Okay.
So federally legal.
So what are you doing?
It's almost a $22 billion industry here in Canada already, right? So
yeah. So are you doing affiliate marketing, or are you just straight slinging LBs across the?
I'm getting into it. I'm sending stuff to certain buddies through Facebook, through a Facebook group, personal Facebook group that I have had already.
Sounds like a thing that we shouldn't really go into too much detail in. So let's focus.
That's why I didn't bring it up. But I'm just saying.
Well, you did bring it up, or else I wouldn't have known to ask. But I'm not going to pry any deeper.
Yeah, no, it's an industry I'm taking full advantage of. Put it that way.
Well, I wouldn't put it past you. I mean, you seem like a guy who likes to take advantage of certain opportunities at certain times. You're the type of guy that'll give a good, honest look to any opportunity that comes across your desk, right?
Oh yeah. No, I'm very straight up with people, though. That's the thing. Like, I'm very blunt with people. I don't beat around the bush with anybody. I tell them how it is. This is hard. This takes work, right? This does take work to get a business up and going. But once you get everything up and going, get that automation going, get everything working, you can breathe. You can actually enjoy doing it, right? Yeah. I'm enjoying this. I enjoy marketing now. Like, I love it. Yeah. My wife probably doesn't like me talking about it as much, but hey, like, I got a wife and 2 kids as well, right? So
nice. Wow. So are you driving a truck anymore at all, dude, or have you gone full-time online?
I was hauling frac sand last Friday. I sat on site for over 5 hours last Friday night. I'm just the last 3 weeks I've been on road bans, right? We have road bans up here, so we can't drive trucks and all the trucks get parked. So I've been able to work hard on the business instead. But I've been hauling logs, dude, right up until our mills slowed right down in February. So they slowed right down, so I had to get into hauling frac sand, right? Like, I'm a truck driver. I don't have to worry about getting a job because I can get a job anytime. I just have to make a phone call, right? But the thing is, with all the taxes and everything else and all the world going on, I'm not getting the hours that I was getting before, right? I'm not making that $5,000 to $6,000 a month that I was making before because of the hours. The mills slowed down. Everything's affected right now. Doesn't matter. Sure. Like, it costs an extra $10,000 a month right now to build a home in Canada just in lumber alone.
Yeah.
Our mills are packed full of wood.
I got you. And that's smart. You're kind of killing 2 birds at one stone, right? With one stone. You're making the most out of your time when you're sitting around, even in the truck. So let's give some of Nathan's like best tips. Like, say, let's do a lightning round of I'd love for you to expand a little bit about the building relationships thing. That seemed like a huge golden boulder that was kind of first and foremost came up. Talk more about that. Give us like 3 of your best tips in sort of a lightning round fashion right now about if somebody's brand new or somebody's looking to get started and start driving traffic, getting leads, making sales. What would you advise them to do?
Number 1, don't chase the money because it's just going to run. Simple as that. Number 2, building relationships. Building relationships is the biggest thing, especially when you're starting out, because you got to build a name for yourself. You got to get people knowing who you are. It took me weeks before people started knowing me and talking to me. So build that relationship with people. They want to hear your story. That's the 3rd thing. Your story is what people want to hear. They don't want to hear the same old affiliate, right? They want to hear your story. Doesn't matter if you think it's if you don't think it's interesting. Doesn't matter if you think it's boring. Trust me, there's people out there that want to hear your story. I was talking to somebody in Scotland the other day. And he's like, oh, I can't get the views, right? Why can't I get the views and stuff? I said, dude, you're in Scotland. Show your freaking scenery. Talk about your scenery. Talk about your experiences there. Because you might think it's boring there, but people at other places, they want to see that kind of stuff. They want to hear that story, right? Talk about your story, because people want to hear it, and they're going to listen. And when they listen, that's building a relationship between you and the potential client. And when you that drops people's bridges, drops people's walls, right? And then you can build that relationship with them. They'll trust you more. Hey, like honestly, like my whole last week of success that I've had is all based on relationships. I've spent 2-3 hours just talking with people on TikTok Messenger just because they want to talk, or they want to I don't know. They just want to talk with somebody, right?
So how do you start the relationship? If somebody comments on your video, do you reach out and send them a message? Like, how does the beginning of the conversation happen?
First of all, like I say, hey, DM me. We'll chat, right? A lot of times I'm not just sending people straight to my link, because I've learned from I've talked to a lot of the higher ups, right? Like Meg and Ryan, Digi Morano, he's in Chris, I don't know if Chris hasn't been on yet, but I can't wait, because I've mentored from Chris myself, Chris Digi Morano. Trevor Gundrum, he's who I started, so he's an amazing guy. I reached out to the higher ups and I got the information. I got Ryan and Megan Hobbs. They really helped me out too, right? Like, ask for information. Don't be afraid to ask people. We're here, like the group, this family. I call it my legendary family, because it's a community. We all are here to help each other out, right? So build those relationships with people, because all I do is basically take a conversation and just say, hey, how's your day going? What's going on in your life right now? And just say, hey, how could I help you better yourself? How could I help you? Just start a conversation. It doesn't have to be about affiliate marketing in general. Just start a conversation, because I've had conversations just lead to, hey, I see you've been having success with this business. I let them come to me sometimes, right? And they say, hey, I see you having success with this business. I see you on Instagram. I see you on Pinterest. I see you on TikTok, right? What's going on? Is this really the real deal? And I'll explain to them. I wouldn't be wasting my time if I wasn't making profit with this. You think my wife would be letting me do all of this if I wasn't making a profit from it, right? That's one of my biggest sellers, right? Is because my wife, if I didn't have my wife's back on this, I would have had to give up on this a long time ago, because I went through the valley of despair. I was in the valley of despair, and I reached out to one of the higher ups. He helped me out, Chris Digi Morano. I don't care. I will say his name. He is an amazing man. You will meet him one day, because he is doing amazing. But he helped me out. I was in the valley of despair, and he helped me push myself through that. And literally, that's what changed everything for me.
So what I'm
mindset and that valley of despair.
Yeah. So I mean, what I'm hearing you say in terms of first and foremost, just to answer what was coming up for me, was how does the conversation start? You're giving people a call to action to reach out in direct message. So in your videos, instead of always saying, click the link, click the link, click the link, click the link, click like a broken record, like everybody else is doing, right? You're hitting them with a sidewinder when everybody else is throwing left jabs, and you're saying, yo, hop in my DMs, shoot me a message. Let's chop it up.
And even I was talking to Megan Hobbs last night, and another thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start getting on Zoom calls with people. Hey, you want me to show you? I'll show you how I'm doing this. If you're really that worried about it, I will literally get on a Zoom call with you and show you. Also, another big thing of mine is I send a lot of traffic to a private Facebook group. And in that private Facebook group, I have so much I have to put a lot more on there, but I have a lot of information that pushes people to want to get into this, that shows them the success, that shows hey, you can promote this product. Hey, you can promote these kind of products, right? I show them like, hey, you can't. It's not just about the digital world too. You can do whatever you want in this industry, right? You get to pick the product. You get to pick the company you want to promote, right?
Yeah.
If you want to choose Legendary, that's wicked. But you're not just limited to one product in this industry, and that's what people think. That's what people are always thinking, and you got to change that mindset in them, right?
Yeah. No doubt. That's huge, dude, because, and it's even what I would say, if I was going to say what you just said, I would say you can do anything you want with these skill sets.
That's exactly it.
Right? When you learn the skill sets, dude, you can do anything.
That's why I tell them. I said, you got to get the training, and you got to build the foundation first. You got to build your foundation first. And for the foundation I got to build my business is this training. This is the training that you need to build the same foundation that I did to start building my empire, right? I was a construction worker too, dude. I did heavy equipment. I did construction. I was a drywaller for 12 years, right? So I did it all too, right? Like, I was in the construction industry. I did everything. Like, I'm a man of multiple tasks, right? I've done it all in my life, right? Like, I started working at 13. I dropped out of high school in grade 9, right? I went back and got my GED when I did 2 years of prison, right? So I've had a life, right? I've had the experiences, and I'm using that to my advantage right now, and using those terms. Like, I love the word foundation. I use it all the time, right? The word foundation, because it's exactly what we're doing. The training we get from this is the foundation to our company and to our business. We need that training to build our foundation in order to build up, right? And that's what I push, right? I personally push that. Like, this is your training. This is your foundation to get to where I want to become successful and become successful in this industry. You need the proper training. You need the right knowledge. Yeah, you can do it on YouTube, but you're going to waste 6 months doing it. Why? When you can learn it in 15 days, right? So, like, honestly, like, I never use the word course. I don't even use the word 15 day. I use the word program. I use the word training. I use the word foundation, right?
Yeah. That's big, dude.
It's just, I find that's what's working for me, right? That's what's working out for me, right? So,
yeah.
And like you said, whatever works, repeat the process.
Well, you're figuring out that if you're figuring out the idea of novelty, okay? Novelty is this idea, right? I mean, let's go right here. Let's look it up. Novelty, right? Because I'm a 9th grade dropout, right? So I gotta really dumb things down. Okay. So let's see here. Novelty, the quality. All right. Check this out. All right. So the quality, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share the old scrizzine here for everybody. So here we go. Okay. Let's go right over here. The quality of being new and unusual, something that has not been experienced before and so is interesting, right? So check this out, guys. So why the hell is Dave talking about this right now? Because novelty in marketing is one of the most powerful things that you will ever be enlightened to. The reason why is because if somebody feels like they've seen or heard something before, it's not going to be as exciting to them. But if you frame things, even if you're selling the same exact product or service or training, the reason why saturation is a myth, it's a myth, is because I can come into a market that's been predominantly selling a product or a service in one way for decades, and I can come in and I can use a new angle, new terminology, just a new way of selling that product. I can bundle that product with some additional training that will make my offering more valuable, i.e. bonuses, right? So novelty is one of the most important and powerful concepts that we'll ever learn in marketing. And it's why going out there on TikTok or wherever you're going and trying to do what everybody else is doing is not the best long-term solution. Is it a good way to get things off the ground and sort of get into action? Sure, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And the principles, or as you call it, Nathan, the foundation is pretty much always the same. But the details, the language, the terms, the angle, the story, right? The bonuses, what you're also offering as an individual, as an affiliate of a product, for example, the more new, the more interesting, the more different it can be, the more successful you be. And I think you're picking up on that, right? You're realizing that, you're learning that at an early stage.
I've realized that real quick. And like, I was never in sales myself, so this is all new to me. The all-in-one world and everything is new to me. But from me just reaching out, getting the knowledge, getting the experience, and talking to the right people, I've been able to quickly, I guess, put it all together, puzzle all the pieces together, and actually make things work the way I wanted it to work. Right? I'm actually able to sit back and breathe because I'm seeing all my hard work come into action, and it's actually paying off. Right? So it's a copy and repeat process. Right? I'm like, I had an amazing week last weekend, and even this week, but you didn't see me, oh, hey, I had an amazing day, right? You didn't see me, oh, I'm not going to make TikToks anymore. I'm not going to go live tonight just because I made a couple grand that day, right? No, I was on live. That made me push more. I want to let's get some more, right? Let's do this more. I didn't slack because of my success. That pushed me for more. That drove my hunger for more, right? So like, it was kind of great because that was actually my best night on TikTok live, was that night itself, because I had that energy. People was like, oh, like this guy, like what's going on with him, right? I had that energy. I wanted to push people, right? And it's like, I don't know, like there's people probably in this group. I don't know. I've told a lot of people about this, but my mindset with the company from the day I started has totally changed, right? Like my mindset has totally changed. I am a more positive person. I'm a better person because of this company. I'm better. I'm more tolerant with my kids, like you said. I'm more tolerant. Like I'm spending more time with my wife. I'm actually becoming a better person. I want to help people. People come to me all the time. Like my day's full of helping people online. Like I'm helping people nonstop. I'm getting on Zoom calls. I'm doing this. Whatever I can do to help somebody else out and get them going, I'm there for them. And I tell everybody that straight up. Like I don't, it's hard because like I have to juggle my family life, my trucking life, and this business, right? So it's hard at times, but I push myself to the point and keep telling myself it's going to be worth it. Just keep going, right? So it's my attitude alone and my mindset has really changed for the better. I'm going into groups. People are saying, hey, Nate, I love your positivity. Hey, Nate, it's great seeing you commenting on everything. Hey, Nate, it's really good to see your positivity and your mindset and the way you're pushing people, right? I'm feeding off of that, right? I'm driving me for more, right? And that I'm enjoying it, right? I never would have thought 10 years ago, hey, there would be people saying, hey, Nate, keep up your positivity. No, I was laying in a freaking back alleyway, right? And now I'm sitting here and people are asking me for help, and I'm actually helping them get better on with their lives, make a better life for themselves. And it's actually, that's driving me. And it's, I don't know, you could say it's my new addiction, right? Right? Like,
not a bad one. I mean, yeah, I have an addictive personality too. So, I mean, I've learned that I need to find positive addictions because I'm likely going to be addicted to something, you know? I mean, I remember
cigarettes a year ago myself too, right?
Yeah. Well, I know I love tobacco too. I love me a cigar here or there. So I wanted to just point one thing out, and then we'll bring this baby in for a landing because I've got an 11 o'clock I got to get ready for. But listen, I wanted to point out something for everybody here that you just said, which is like your positivity in your helping, you're commenting, you're contributing instead of just like seeing what you can take. Like, nobody's helping me, please help me. You know, like
no excuses. No excuses. That's a term I use all the time. Is no excuses.
Well, that's a great term. That's a great motto to live by, because I mean, some of us, and we've all been like this at certain times in our life. So I'm not here to put anybody down or shame anybody. It's just about bringing people up and raising their self-awareness. Some of us, when we start, we have more excuses than results. I mean, everything's, I remember when I got clean from drugs, it was everybody else's fault. Why? It wasn't until I learned to take responsibility that I started to get clean and change my life. And the same thing happens in business. It's like, we see people all the time that come through. Well, I got scammed. I got this. I got that. I didn't get supported. That person's the reason why I wasn't successful in the past. And it's like those feelings may be real. I'm not trying to say that you don't feel like that. And I'm not trying to say that none of that stuff happened, because I wasn't there. I don't know. I believe people when they say what they say. But here's what I tell them, that you're not responsible for anything in the past. Let's just, you got a total pass on everything. You don't have to have any guilt. You don't have to have any shame. You don't even have to just think about it. Right now, the only thing you have to think about is that you are totally 100% responsible for everything that happens from now on out. Exactly. 100% responsible. And can we agree on that? Can you accept that as a person? That the past doesn't matter. Forget about it. It's over. You're not responsible for it. It's not your fault. But everything in the future, you're totally 100% responsible for. And if you can embrace that, people, if you guys can embrace that, if you can accept that, if you can say, okay, that's a fair deal, right? That's like a fair deal. Like, I can get down with that. If you can accept that, then the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit for each one of you. And that is exactly what I see with you, my brother. So before we wrap up, I'll give you the last word.
No excuses. Keep pushing people, because you might think that you're not getting anywhere and stuff, but I'm telling you, you're right at that point where you're about to take off. Because I was there. I was ready to give up, and I went and pushed myself through the valley of despair. Just push yourself, because you got this. It's really no excuses. Nobody else is going to push you. You got to do it yourself. So nice, I don't let anybody give me excuses. Honestly, the past is the past, like you said, right? So yeah, I really do appreciate everything, Dave, and you've changed my life, and this has definitely been life-changing. I appreciate it,
brother. It's my not only my job, I look at it as just an honor and a privilege, and just something that now you'll be doing the same thing you already are. And so it's nice to be a part of your journey, brother.
Yeah. And I actually, me and another marketer have some amazing news going to be happening. So you're going to see some amazing stuff start happening here. Me and another affiliate got some things going, buddy. Another Canadian boy, right?
I'm sure you do,
you're going to see some crazy stuff start happening. You just watch.
All right, man. All right, guys. Well, Nathan, take care, my brother.
We're gonna. I will see you again.
All right, dude. Yep. We'll have you back to stay posted on your journey, bro. Give my best to your family, man. Stay safe, you too. We'll talk soon, brother.
Yeah. Stay safe.
See you, man. All right, guys. Nathan's TikTok banner is once again up. You can go find him, connect with him, allow him to be a part of your network, be a part of his. Obviously, the cool thing about so many people on the show is that, like, it's not about going and reaching out. I mean, I know Nathan said reaching out to the higher ups, but the truth is that we're all here to learn from each other, man. And the cool thing is that even if somebody has been marketing for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you can learn from them, and likely they can learn from you. If you transition over into that take responsibility, take action, you're soon going to have experience that you can share too. And then you, instead of always being in this kind of dynamic with people online to where you're lower than them, right? And there's some guru that's hot, that's above you or whatever. Like, you become equals, man. You become equals. And that's what that to me, that's what legendary is about more than anything, is that we're all equal. We're all equal, man. I mean, I'm no better, no different than anybody else. I'm coming on this show every day, learning from people. I'm looking here to be a sponge, to soak up knowledge, to be able to be refreshed with new ideas and new ways of thinking about things and stuff. So just know that you're so close. Like Nathan said, you're so close that it's just really about taking responsibility. It's just really stepping into your boss mode. It's really stepping into your leadership, your best leader self. I mean, and you can do that in an instant. Like everybody can do that. You don't have to have accomplished something to step into that role. And that's one of the things that I hope we all can take with us today and be empowered with that thought. So I want to thank Nathan once again for getting that conversation started. You guys can again follow him on TikTok, go lift him up, comment on his stuff, support him, right? Lift him up. And I know he'll do the same for you. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow, once again, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Wake up legendary. See ya.